today's Schrade Saturday video, we're going to take a look at a knife that I've been on the fence about whether I wanted to look at it for a couple of years now almost. I just finally decided to go ahead and take the plunge, so to speak, and ask them to send me one so I can check it out. I'm talking about the Joshua Waggoner design SCH112, the Shasta McNasty. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at Schrade/BTI Tools were kind enough to send me one of their SCH112. They kind of named this the Shasta McNasty, whatever that means. This is a Joshua Waggoner design. You may recall that Joshua designed one of my favorite machete knives of all times, the Schrade Priscilla Machaira brush sword. I don't remember the number on it, but it's a really cool knife. Kind of looks like something from Lord of the Rings a little bit, but it's a anyway. I'll put a link up here to that video if you want to check it out, because this is a pretty cool knife. This one is totally different. It's kind of a karambit style, and honestly, I think Joshua designed this as obviously a defensive knife. I am not a knife fighter. I'm just a regular guy who likes knives, but also pinecone. I also recognize the advantage or benefit of having a sharp bladed implement to maybe defend yourself with. I'm going to try to make this a quick video because it looks like it's really about to come storming here, and I got to go pick my son up at the airport. Let's talk about the specs of this thing real quick. We'll get to doing a little bit of knife stuff, and you know I got to check the balance of this one. I don't know how well that's going to work, but I'm definitely going to give it my best shot. So let's talk about this knife for just a minute. It's a karambit style knife, so it's got a ring here for your fingers. Pretty good size ring, which actually, I guess if you hold this like you're punching with it, you can punch like this, and you're gonna stab somebody. Because when you punch, you're gonna be straight in. So you can punch in with it. You got it around your little finger in there, so hopefully you retain the knife in case of a struggle. You can slash with it, and I think if you slash with it, it's going to certainly rip. Even if you cut this way with it, it's got a double-edged blade. I think you can also hold it like this, put your index finger through it. You got the same thing. You can slash with it. You can actually use that to strike with. Some people have said that hole's a little big. You know, I'm not a knife fighting guy, so I don't know. I'm not a martial artist, so to speak. I was a little concerned about the heel of my hand, or my hand hitting this thing, but it's not really sharp until about an inch up from about right here, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself there. But one thing that doesn't seem to work really slickly is this sheath, and it's basically when you go to put it in, I've noticed you really got to, well, it went in perfect that time, but then it's got these little tabs on it right here that kind of retain it in place. And let's see if I can put it in and let you see what I'm talking about. So if you do it really gently, it snaps in. Those little tabs kind of hold it in place, and then you can just thumb push it out. But I've also found if you just try to put it in quickly, it gets hung up really easy. And when you try to pull it out, it's really kind of difficult to get out. So I just pushed it in, pull it out, it comes out. So let me take you down the old waist level here. I'll show you how this thing goes in your pants. I'd say I heard from Jack at Black Scout Survival. I learned that really a self-defense knife should not be used for carving wood or do anything else. You want to keep it as sharp as possible. We're going to check out a little bit of the edge on this, and then we're definitely going to take this thing to the balance, orientation, and rotation device back here and see if we can calibrate it properly for balance. But let me show you how this sheath works, because it's a little different than a normal sheath. You see I'm having a little trouble getting it in again, but let's try this. Basically, the way this thing is designed to work is that you put your belt through the slot here, and then this belt's a normal thickness belt, and basically it's going to hold it in place against your body, something like this. I guess it depends on where you put it. It's going to stick out more, but I guess we could put it right down here in the front. I'm showing my ignorance now, I know, because I'm definitely not a knife fighter dude, but what I've noticed, if you put it here, this thing just pokes. The belt going through the sheath causes the handle to poke out. We'll try it the opposite way, which would mean I would be able to get to it more likely with my left hand. For me, ideally a knife is going to be a backup weapon, and if you do it that way, it just causes it. See, it pokes out here, pokes out there. I can't figure out a way to get this thing to stay no matter how you turn it, when you turn it this way, it does the same thing. You can flip it around, but it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't like it, put it that way. We'll try it like this, just for kicks. It's also pretty stinking narrow. All right, done. Okay, that's about all the fiddling around I want to do with the sheath. Let's just say, as far as I'm concerned, the sheath design is not working. It doesn't happen. At the very minimum, maybe you could stick it down in your pants and keep you from cutting anything inside your pants with the blade, and just use the thumb push off to pop it out, and it'll come out. But you might still bring this with you. I think it'd be a lot better if it had some kind of clip on it. And now you can see I just tried to stick it in there quickly and it's jammed in there, so not liking the sheath. We're going to get rid of that. So let's just talk about the knife. First of all, we're going to try a piece of seatbelt material I got out here that I picked up, I left over from another review. And so it's not the optimal solution here with a little bitty piece I can't really get a hold of. We're going to just see how well it cuts a piece of seatbelt. Ow. Okay. Need to cut your finger. Because it's sharp on both sides. It kind of pisses me off a little bit. So anyway, obviously we can cut some paracord with it. So okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to ramble for a minute. This is one reason that I really kind of hesitated even looking at this knife, because it's very, very different from anything else I'm used to. I'm definitely not a self-defense guy, but I gotta say, I kept looking at it, and I kept looking at it, and I kept looking at it, and I kept thinking, nah. And then finally I thought, something inside of me just said, hey, you know what? I want to check this out, because I like knives, even kind of weird knives. This is definitely a weird knife. And when I saw that it was designed by Joshua Waggoner, and I really do like the Priscilla, I thought, you know what? I'll check it out. And I gotta say, I guess for what it's designed for a fighting knife, it seems like it would work. It would be, let me just put it this way, I'd hate to fight somebody that had this knife. It seemed like that's a wicked, I mean, look at the point on that thing. That is absolutely just stinking wicked. Double-edged, it will definitely cut human flesh, and it's really a McNasty looking knife. I think it would be great to have a trainer of this thing if you really want to try to use it, because I can just see you cutting yourself all to pieces trying to play with this thing if you don't know what you're doing. I have to say, I kind of like it, if nothing else, for the cool factor. But since we didn't really do any knife stuff on wood with it, and I told you this is going to be a quick video, I probably rambled a little too much already, but let's go ahead and see if we can somehow calibrate the balance on this thing at the balance orientation or rotation device there, and at least have a little bit of fun. Okay, so I'm not really sure. I'd like for it to impact this way, obviously. I don't want this thing bouncing back at me though, because that could be a really dangerous situation. Let's just see what happens. Oh, first time! Woo. It's stuck in about that far too. Not bad. So I don't even think it's going in this way. I think it's going in this way. It's sharp enough to really work. One more time. Oh, okay, I gotta say, honestly, I'm liking it a lot more now. Okay, well, I have to admit, I was really surprised that this thing was going to do that well without requiring a whole lot of calibration, and it really did impress me. So, kind of wrap this up, because I keep saying it's going to be a short video and I keep rambling. I'm sorry, but if you're somebody who knows how to use a fighting knife like a karambit, this might be a pretty good choice for you. I mean, it's 37 bucks. I know you can spend a lot more than that on a knife if this is the kind of knife that you like. I'll say this is you can hurt yourself very easily playing around with this if you're not careful. That is stinking sharp, and it will cut you, as I found out. But I will also say this: if you do like this knife and you decide this might be a good knife for you, and it's just a cool design too. If you just like cool designs, even if you're not a knife fighter, it is a pretty cool knife for 37 bucks. But I would think if you're actually going to use this knife and carry it, you need to do something about a sheath. You need to get in touch with somebody else that makes Kydex and make a real sheath for this thing, because I think the knife is okay and actually did a lot better than I thought on the balance. I think the sheath is 100% junk in my opinion, so I'm just calling them like I see them. And I don't see any way for this sheath to work worth a flip, to be honest with you. Maybe if you use the lashing points or whatever, but there's not even a way you could put a tech lock or anything else on it. An ulti clips, you know, I don't think you could get an ulti clip on here, which would be my preferred method of carrying this, is in the waistband with an ulti clip. But I would say you're gonna have to do something about the sheath. But the knife itself, not only was it pretty cool, it's definitely a nasty looking, and it's Joshua Waggoner design. I like his designs. I think he's got some unique ideas, pretty cool stuff, and it's very well balanced, surprisingly, to be honest with you. So $37 on Amazon. Hope this has been at least interesting. Once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade and BTI Tools for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one by clicking right over here. If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you click down in the corner and subscribe. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.